Benny Hill was one of the most recognisable figures in British television, shaping global perceptions of British comedy for decades. His career combined music hall tradition, silent film influence, and controversy in a way few performers ever matched. Fact 1.
Are you a director from Candid Camera?
No, I'm a dustman from Camden Council. If I tell them that, I don't get nothing, do I?
Benny Hill was born Alfred Hawthorne Hill in Southampton in 1924. His father worked as a circus and variety performer. This exposed Hill to live entertainment from an early age. He grew up surrounded by music hall humour. Vaudeville traditions influenced his understanding of comedy. During the Second World War, Hill served in the British Army. He worked primarily as a mechanic during his service. While stationed abroad, he entertained fellow soldiers. His performances included comic impressions and jokes. These informal shows helped build confidence. After the war, Hill pursued work in radio. Radio comedy sharpened his vocal timing. His early radio appearances gained attention. Hill admired silent film comedians. Charlie Chaplin was a major influence. He studied physical movement carefully. These studies later shaped his visual style. His early television work appeared in variety programs. He wrote much of his own material early on. His foundations remained rooted in British performance traditions.
Will you turn the rice pudding out on the stove?
Certainly.
Fact 2.
Miriam! Tell me he's not my son! She said, I'll tell you the truth, he is, the other two ain't.
The Benny Hill Show began in the mid-1950s as a conventional comedy program. Early episodes focused on monologues and songs. Character sketches formed the backbone of the show. The format closely resembled traditional variety entertainment. Over time, the program evolved visually. Hill increasingly used slapstick techniques. Fast motion became more prominent. Chase sequences developed gradually across seasons. These chases drew inspiration from silent-era cinema. Hill maintained strict control over the program's structure. He frequently rewrote scripts during rehearsals. Recording schedules were often tight. Despite this, Hill demanded precision. He carefully reviewed recordings after filming. Music became central to the program. Hill personally composed many musical pieces. By the 1970s, the format stabilized. The show developed a recognizable identity. This consistency helped international sales. The structure remained largely unchanged once established.
To use that.
You can. Using Fairy Liquid can work out cheaper.
Fact 3.
Give yourself a pat on the back, pat on the back, pat on the back, and say to yourself, here's jolly good health, I've had a good day today.
The Benny Hill Show became one of Britain's most widely exported television programs. It aired in more than 140 countries worldwide. Visual humour made the show easy to translate. Many jokes required minimal dialogue.
The criminals think, well, look, they're off.
Rex is your guard dog.
It's my brother-in-law, sir.
This allowed success in non-English speaking regions. Hill gained international recognition. In the United States, the show developed a cult following. Broadcasts often appeared late at night. Younger viewers discovered the show through reruns. Hill's image became associated with British comedy abroad. This visibility sometimes eclipsed other comedians. International success brought Hill financial stability. He managed his earnings carefully. Despite fame, he lived modestly. He avoided celebrity lifestyles. Hill rarely attended international promotional events. His global reach influenced his reputation. International audiences shaped how he was remembered. The show continued circulating after its original run. Global exposure defined his lasting legacy. Fact 4. Benny Hill was an accomplished musician. Music played a central role in his performances. He could play several instruments. Music hall traditions strongly influenced his style. Hill frequently wrote parody lyrics. He also composed melodies for sketches. Musical interludes were a regular feature. These segments referenced traditional British songs. Music enhanced physical comedy. Rhythm shaped the timing of visual jokes. Chase scenes relied heavily on musical pacing. Yakety sax became closely associated with the show. Hill did not write the piece, however, he popularized it internationally.
Give her your hand when she's lost the way.
Hill understood how sound guided audience reaction. Music controlled comedic momentum. His approach linked comedy to older traditions. This appealed to older viewers. Younger audiences were introduced to classic forms. Music became inseparable from the show's identity. Fact 5.
Do you know, I've known him tickle a trout, and then like lightning whip it out. I've known him catch a girl that way as well.
Hill played a major role in writing his material. He worked with a small, trusted team. Scripts went through multiple revisions. Hill focused intensely on pacing. He believed timing outweighed dialogue. Rehearsals were used to refine jokes. Hill insisted on final script approval. This level of control caused tension at times. However, it ensured tonal consistency. Hill kept records of audience reactions. Feedback influenced future material. He avoided topical political humour. Timeless scenarios were preferred. This increased rerun appeal. Writing control preserved his voice.
Hello, everyone.
External creative input was limited. The programme reflected Hill's preferences. His authority shaped the show's longevity. Few comedians held similar control. The result was a highly personal body of work. Fact 6. Much of Hill's comedy relied on visual storytelling. Dialogue often played a secondary role.
You want to go?
Now let's play the word game first.
Hill admired early silent film comedians. Charlie Chaplin influenced his approach. Buster Keaton was also significant. Hill studied non-verbal joke construction. Physical movement carried narrative meaning. Visual clarity guided joke delivery. This approach suited international audiences. Language barriers were avoided. Facial expressions were exaggerated deliberately. Editing speed increased over time. Fast motion became a signature device. Hill believed speed heightened absurdity. Critics responded with mixed opinions. Some praised innovation, others criticized repetition. Regardless, the style became recognizable. Silent comedy anchored the show's identity. Visual humor defined Hill's legacy.
Well, if my individual fruit pie, I was going to have that tonight with Randall and Hopkirk diseased.
Fact 7.
Political correspondent Peter Seymour.
Oh, hell. Hello.
The show attracted criticism over its portrayal of women. Critics argued stereotypes were outdated. Hill described the work as farce. He stated characters were intentionally exaggerated. Controversy intensified during the late 1970s. Social attitudes were changing rapidly. Audience responses became more divided. Some broadcasters reduced repeat screenings. Hill was aware of the criticism. He felt misunderstood by commentators. Ratings remained strong internally. Popularity did not immediately decline. Hill avoided public disputes. He gave few explanatory interviews. Debate became part of his legacy. Later assessments reconsidered context. Discussions reflected shifting comedy standards. Critics analysed historical framing. The controversy shaped long-term perception. It remains central to modern evaluation.
This one I'm wearing. I just use it for cleaning out the stables, that's all.
And your husband?
He's just gone for a pony and trap.
Fact 8.
The gentleman on the other, and a sort of a big, dirty, great privet edge going down the centre, sir, but there was so much beating about the bush.
Off-screen, Hill was extremely private. He avoided celebrity culture. Hill never married. He lived alone for most of his life. Friends described him as shy. He disliked public attention. Fame did not alter his habits. Despite wealth, he lived modestly. Hill regularly used public transport. He often walked to work. Flashy possessions were avoided. His lifestyle surprised colleagues. Hill preferred quiet activities. Reading occupied much of his free time. He collected books extensively. Social gatherings were infrequent. Colleagues noted his reserved nature. His screen persona contrasted sharply. Privacy helped him focus creatively. This contrast became a defining trait. Fact 9.
With me tonight, the multi-talented Clyde Jarrow.
Hello there.
The Benny Hill Show ended in the late 1980s. Changing audience tastes contributed significantly. Comedy styles had evolved, critics had become increasingly vocal, broadcasters sought newer formats. Hill was deeply affected by cancellation. He felt undervalued creatively. Attempts to adapt the format were limited. Hill struggled to redefine his image. He continued writing privately. No major comeback occurred. The show's end marked a cultural shift. Slapstick variety declined in popularity. Hill's influence persisted through reruns. Younger audiences continued discovering the show. The cancellation reshaped his later years. It altered public perception of his career. The ending highlighted risks of longevity. Long-running formats faced greater scrutiny. The show's conclusion remains historically significant.
Vermouth with a cherry in it, sir. Martini with an olive in it. If you like, you have a pint with a pickled onion in it, sir.
Fact 10.
Well, I can't play the bloody Japanese nose flute, but I don't go on about it, do I?
Hill influenced multiple generations of comedians. Physical comedy regained prominence through his work. International performers cited his influence. Timing techniques were closely studied. Musical integration shaped later programs. Fast motion chases became a reference point. Parody shows imitated his style. Even critics acknowledged technical skill. Hill demonstrated visual comedy's power. He proved humour could cross borders. Influence extended well beyond Britain. His work shaped exported British comedy. Advertising borrowed visual techniques. Film comedies echoed similar pacing. Some performers rejected his style. Opposition still reflected his impact. Influence persisted through debate. His legacy remains complex. Visibility ensured lasting discussion. Hill occupies a permanent place in comedy history.
Throw open wide your window, dear.
Fact 11.
One short. You want salt? Yeah. Thought you said you were one short.
Hill rarely engaged directly with critics. He read reviews carefully. Negative criticism affected him personally. Despite this, he continued working consistently. Hill believed audience response mattered most. Ratings reinforced his confidence. Critics often focused on surface elements. Hill felt deeper structure was overlooked. This disconnect widened over time. Media commentary became harsher in later years. Hill did not significantly alter his image. He remained committed to his established style. Retrospectives later reassessed his technical skill. Critics acknowledged his discipline. Historical distance softened earlier judgments. His relationship with critics shaped public perception. The tension influenced how his work was discussed. Critical opinion became more balanced later. Hill's reputation evolved after his career ended. Debate remains central to his legacy.
Distance are printed words which foretell the future.
Almanacs.
It's true, sir.
Fact 12.
You wicked lecher, you! You wicked evil lecher!
Hill was known for intense preparation. Rehearsals were taken seriously. Scripts were memorized thoroughly. Physical routines were practiced repeatedly. Hill demanded precise timing. Mistakes frustrated him during filming. Despite comedy's light tone, work was strict. Crew members described long production days. Hill personally checked edits. He reviewed final cuts closely. Music cues were adjusted carefully. Attention to detail was constant. This discipline ensured consistency. The workload sometimes caused strain, however, it produced a recognisable style. Hill rarely took extended breaks. Work dominated his daily routine. Preparation shaped the final product. Discipline underpinned his success. His approach reflected traditional professionalism.
And he says, are you all right down there? He said, yes, it's all right. I'm fine. I'm standing on the wife's shoulders.
Fact 13.
Oh, am I that sick? No, I'm away on my holidays.
Hill was financially cautious throughout his career. He saved much of his income. Investments were conservative and stable. He avoided extravagant purchases. This approach reflected his upbringing. Hill distrusted sudden fame. He planned for long-term security. Even at peak success, he lived simply. Colleagues were surprised by his frugality. Hill donated quietly to charity. He rarely publicized his generosity. Financial independence gave him creative freedom. He avoided reliance on endorsements. This independence reduced external pressure. Money did not define his identity. Stability brought personal comfort. Hill managed his finances personally. Careful planning shaped his later years. His estate reflected decades of restraint. Financial caution was consistent throughout his life.
Because we are the newspaper that speaks out, faces facts, and names names.
Who's your proprietor?
I'd rather not say so.
Fact 14.
Gorgeous. She worships me. She's loving, passionate, patient.
After Hill's death, interest in his work increased. Documentaries revisited his career, scholars examined his comedic methods, archival material gained renewed attention, discussions became more balanced, contextual analysis replaced simple criticism. Hill was recognized as a technical craftsman. His influence on comedy was reassessed. Younger audiences discovered his work online. Short clips circulated widely. International viewers revisited the program. Critical opinion diversified over time. Recognition became more nuanced. Hill's complexity was acknowledged. His work entered academic discussion. Cultural context informed reassessment. Legacy debates reflected generational change. Hill's reputation continued to evolve. Later recognition broadened understanding of his impact. Historical distance allowed fairer evaluation.
Oh, pink's my favourite colour. Yes. I always put them on when I'm taking the dog for a walk.
Fact 15.
I'm a compulsive liar.
I find that hard to believe.
Benny Hill remains a symbol of a specific era. His comedy reflects post-war British variety traditions. The show captured changes in television comedy. Visual humour defined his lasting image. Hill's work continues to provoke discussion. Legacy includes admiration and criticism. This duality keeps his name relevant. He demonstrated comedy's global reach. Few British performers matched his export success. His style influenced and divided audiences. Cultural context shapes modern interpretation. Hill's career shows how tastes evolve. Comedy history frequently revisits his work. His program illustrates television's transitional period. Legacy debates highlight generational shifts. Hill remains part of British cultural memory. His influence is studied rather than ignored. Discussion sustains his relevance. Reassessment continues decades later. His impact endures through debate and analysis.